Hello, welcome back to the Build It Brad channel. As you can see, we've got all the floor cleaned out of here now. We had the big piles in the last video. We got that all taken out. As you can see, the floor, I don't know if it was a greenhouse, they tore that down and then built the building around it, but they had the pathways and then the areas where they had the flowers. So this all has to get chiseled out and it will get all reconcreted, and we're debating, and maybe you guys can help me with this decision. We're deciding if we should do radiant heat or some kind of forced air heat or tube heat. If you got any suggestions or have done it in the past, I would love to hear your suggestions on that. But we want to tear these walls down, re-insulate the outside walls because they're not very well done. The next path that we're going to be doing, and we'll show you once we start that process, is we got to demo everything, this wall all the way to the other side of the building now, and that's going to be a big job in itself. We're hoping it's going to be a little easier since this side had a bunch of multi-levels and a bunch of wood flooring, that it's not going to be so labor intensive. But we're going to walk over and we're going to kind of go through that area and show you what we're all going to do. But if you want to come follow me, we're gonna come back here. Now all of this will be demoed too, but we're gonna hold off on that right now. The furnace is gonna get moved to the other side. We're just waiting until this is all demoed and then we get our building permits. That way we can reconstruct stuff and get the proper mechanical people out here to switch all that around. With that being said, we're gonna switch into here. We did kind of do a little walkthrough on here before, but it's kind of cold over here, so we got a little heater. We're gonna try to warm it up a little bit. But this section in here is the old furnace room for this side of the building, but it is no longer working. We were gonna have somebody out here check it, but they said, you know, if it's so old that it doesn't even pay, it probably just needs to be replaced. But as you can see, this was an addition because the side of the building still has the tin on it in here. That will all get taken down. We'll probably do drywall or maybe some new tin on this side of the building. But this is that wall that goes into that other side that we were just in. So all of this and all of this, we're gonna have to tear all of this down. So we'll have time lapse of all that. I'm not gonna bore you with the slow, methodical details of tearing that all apart. We'll come back out here and we'll continue down the hallway, and we're gonna come back this way. This was a hallway. They had some water pipes break in here. That's why the carpet's up. But there's an office in there. That's obviously, like I said, a lot of this doesn't matter. It's all gonna get demoed. We got a couple offices in here as well. That will all get demoed out. And then we'll come in here. This is another office. And then we'll come this way into the final office. Large conference room, and again, all of this is going to be completely, we're going to start, I think, doors, trim, ceiling, all the tiles. We're going to try to leave the lights as long as possible so we're not working in the dark here. And then we'll start tearing the drywall out. Once all that's out, then we'll start taking the studs and stuff down. But I think,
and this floor needs to be taken out, right? Because it's raised.
Yes, the floor, the carpet will need to get ripped up too, because we'll have to cut the flooring like we did on the other side to rip up all the plywood and all the 2x6s. But I think we're gonna start back here, either in that room or in this room, and we'll start getting everything kind of started disassembled, and we'll bring you along on a time lapse. spot for the evening, and we're gonna just do a quick update. We didn't video too much because the camera died, but I'm just gonna do a quick run through of what we all did, and then tomorrow when we come back, we'll fill you in on the progress then. But as you can see, the ceiling's gone, the carpet's gone, the drywall is starting to get removed throughout this whole section, and once we get the rest of the drywall off, we'll start removing all the studs and then work our way from the ceiling all the way down and get everything out of here. So we're gonna call it a night, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
We got the ceiling down, we got the carpet gone, we got the drywall gone, and oh my God! In this room, we're missing a door.
Oh no, Meme.
Oh, we didn't even touch that door yet. Yeah. But look at, we took the ceiling down. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything's done. Yes, sure. Let's do so hot tonight.
All right, that's a wrap for the weekend's work. We're just gonna do a walkthrough and show you kind of a disaster that we've got going on here. We tore a bunch of the ceiling down, so we're not totally finished with that. But as we walk through here, you can kind of see, obviously got a lot of drywall ripped down, and that's the first process that I want to do is get all that off so that we can get to all the studs. We got more ceilings that we took down. The next thing is, once we get that, we're gonna take all the insulation down and then start taking the studs, kind of like what we did on the other side. This is a big project, and we've got a lot more to go, but we will probably work on this a little bit this week, and we'll bring you back, for some of that progress. But we've got a lot of wiring we got to have disconnected, so that's another reason why we want to get all the drywall removed, so we can expose all that. We took a bunch of Cat 5 cable, we took a bunch of telephone wires out of here, and we still got a lot of stuff to remove, but we're making good progress. We had a very busy weekend doing that. So as we walk this way, we can see all of the drywall that is removed, and you can kind of see almost into every room. It's getting more open, and it's kind of nice to see all this extra space that we're gonna have for activities and car building and stuff. So if you want to keep on coming this way, you can see all the rooms, all the ceiling tiles are gone, a lot of the drywall's gone, but we got a little bit more up front here, and we got these couple rooms. We'll back up here, we'll go into these rooms. We got a little bit more here, a little bit more drywall on this side, and then back here, and we'll be almost done with the drywall removal, so we'll be able to move on to electrical and stuff. So, well, that's it. We're gonna call it tonight. We're exhausted. It's been a long weekend, and we'll catch you on the next one.